for my number one, barbell curl. And based on EMG data, based on any kind of data, the barbell curl remains, as far as isolation movements for the biceps, the barbell curl was, and will probably always remain the king. It just works. So there's straight barbell curls, which is with a fixed straight bar, or one that is cambered, which they have over there. Your wrist is curved, your wrist will be in a more neutral position. No one is better than the other. If you've had, again, wrist, elbow, shoulder issues, you probably want to use a cambered bar. Prefer a straight bar. Again, don't shorten your range of motion. Bring it all the way up. Bring it all the way down. Meaning all the way down. Not here. Not here. Don't swing. Don't cheat. Correct. Strict. Straight up to its fully contracted position. Straight down. Make sure, and this goes for a lot of pulling movements, that when you're curling at the top, you're not flexing your wrist like this. When you do that, you're putting a lot of pressure on your forearm extensors, which will cause elbow pain. So, once again, every day at the gym, this is what I see. Now, you could keep doing it like that. You could ego lift. You could grab a 110-pound fixed barbell. I'm tired. I don't even know what this weight is. I don't even care. The point is, no matter what weight you're using, with the biceps, it's all about mind-muscle connection. So as you're curling, squeeze your biceps as hard as you can, and then use a slow, controlled eccentric. You don't have to go super slow, but on the eccentric side, as the muscle spindles are getting stretched out and you're resisting as it's going down, that's where the most muscle damage occurs. Some people purposely will do just eccentric sets where they'll go up, slow on the way down, then they'll go up again, slow on the way down. Although it's great practice, it does cause a lot of muscle damage, and it's not something that you would want to do every time you curl. In fact, it could almost cause a bicep tear if you're just doing it too much volume with those kind of sets. Just make sure with biceps, it is more about getting the pump. It is more about mind-muscle connection, and make sure you're getting a full range of motion for the love of God. This is the preacher curl machine. The one machine that's in every gym that I think should be in no gym, because I think it's pretty worthless. Unless you're advanced, unless you're doing partials. But the reality is, this causes a lot of issues for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. But without getting into it, when you're curling up from here to here, there's no tension. There's no tension. All of the pressure is down here. And this can put a tremendous amount of pressure on your elbows, your shoulders, since you're already internally rotated. And the only real effective way to do them would be to bring it from a full extension up to about here and then back down, which defeats the purpose of bringing your bicep from its fully lengthened position to its fully contracted position. This is a waste of your time. So instead of preacher curls, what I recommend instead are spider curls. So same idea, and the angle of which you're at can vary. Normally I bring this a little bit lower, but for all intents and purposes. So now it's hanging down, and now the hardest part of the lift is towards the top, where you're trying to get these dumbbells up as high as you can, letting them hang down, going all the way up. So as these, as you use heavier dumbbells, it's going to be harder and harder. If you can only get to here, defeats the purpose. Lighten the load, make sure you can get all the way up. The elbow position is staying the same. Again, you're not bringing the elbows up with your forearms. You're just curling up as high as you can get and bringing it straight back down. Again, bicep work. You are not looking to hit a PR. One of my clients had asked me one time, he's like, well, I'm up to curling, like 55s. And I said, that's great. It's going to get to a point where you're going to get up to 60s, maybe 65s. And all it's going to do is beat the shit out of your elbows, your shoulders, your forearms, your wrists. There's just no point. The best way to build biceps, although I just showed you a bunch of isolation movements, these should be done with a focus on my muscle connection, getting a pump, not going crazy with it. The biggest growth you'll see is from your pulling, whether that's vertical pulls, horizontal pulls, even carries, loaded carries like farmer carries. That's where you'll see the most growth, and you're killing a lot of birds with one stone. But for guys that need extra isolation work, I'm sure I myself could have bigger biceps. I just don't care about it. Some guys do, especially ones that if they are training for contest prep, obviously that's a totally different story, or a women's physique, whatever it is. But if you're going to do it, just remember, biceps, very simple. They're either coming from a stretch like a seated incline, standard position, or from a front position where the hardest part of the lever is towards the top.